It was an inspiring kickoff to 2017 simply because the first City Council meeting was not interrupted in the usual way. Councillors were focused and calm. Usually, it is marked by endless disruptions and political drama going into overtime. Mayor Herman Mashaba was in his usual determined to get the job done mood. Issues tabled were serious and resolutions passed historic. Item number 1 was the tabling of the integrated annual report for the year end June 2016.
I think it's important for the residents of our city, if not the nation, to take interest in this integrated annual report of the city, because it highlights issues coming out of the Auditor General's report for the 2015-2016 financial statements to demonstrate what we've inherited as the new administration in terms of wasteful, irregular expenses that the city has been experiencing all over the years and not actually receiving attention. All the time, over the last 5 years or more, the Auditor General gives his findings and expects us as administration to account. And that was never done before. And that's what this report is all about. And we are committing ourselves as a new administration to ensure that this does not happen. This is the last time that we will have such serious findings. And we expect that if we also don't comply, that civil society must hold us responsible and accountable.
There were a number of issues tabled for approval at this council sitting.
The big one was the presentation of the integrated report, which fortunately enough has gone through just for noting, and we inviting society out there to take personal interest in this particular matter. So we've got 3 more coming, which is the open tender system that was supposed to have been tabled last year. Secondly, it's also 8 senior positions that are need to start an urgent recruitment process for them. Very important is the reintegration of all state city-owned entities. All these companies, City Power, Joburg Water, and so forth, I'm recommending to Council that we integrate them back to be part of the City of Johannesburg, that I don't have to sit with all this board of directors that are not adding any value whatsoever to the system. These entities about service delivery to our people. And I cannot see the reason why I have to incur this unnecessary delays every time there's a service delivery into our communities, be power, electricity, be water, then I have to go through boards of directors. So I'm calling on Council to allow me to start the process of the reintegration of these entities.
The only people who will lose their jobs in this process will be the board of directors of the city.
That was the mayor presenting item number 20, calling for the reintegration of municipal entities. This means the city will now have control over these municipal entities. When the mayor proposed that, he did not mince his words when he said the current structure does not serve the citizens in terms of service delivery, and the current structure is crazy. Of course, not all parties were in favor of this, but ultimately the majority ruled in favor, and so that resolution has been passed.
We think it will improve service delivery because decisions will now be taken very quickly. But also, we as governors will be able to hold those who are managing those entities accountable, will demand proper management, implementation of our manifesto. That is very, very important.
The main opposition to the current administration, the ANC, was not convinced of the merit of this move.
We think that what they're trying to do is crazy. When a mayor of a big city like Johannesburg says they can't manage complexity, he doesn't understand corporate governance, that governance is falling through the cracks, we think that it's lack of understanding of the process rather than the structure itself. And again, we don't understand what the problem is. So if the problem is him, then you cannot spend close to, we think they'll spend about 100 to 200 million rands in collapsing these entities and transferring contracts, transferring employees, transferring the business, dealing with creditors. It's a long process. Dealing with tax, it's a long process. So we oppose it because we think that in the age of austerity, in the age where you're supposed to take money to service delivery, you cannot be spending it on an institutional review that you have not studied. When we came into office in 2011, we did an extensive institutional review, and that gave us a reason why we left the municipal entities as they are, and the report is still there in its office. We believe that they're opening up an honest nest, but There's no politics, there's no economy, there's no service delivery outlook in the decision. We believe that all they're doing is because they believe that the boards are ANC boards. Why don't they change the boards? Simple.
It was in particular illuminating to listen to presentations made by several councillors around the challenges faced by the Office of the Ombudsman in the city of Johannesburg. The Oversight Committee pointed out that the main challenge is that of capacity. The office simply does not have the capacity to deal with a mountain of claims coming through, and the mountain of claims mainly relates to the billing crisis faced by residents. The Oversight Committee pointed out how important it was to address these challenges to justify the existence of this office. I chatted more to the former mayor of Joburg, Parks Tau, about these challenges, who was not able to reply further to the debate around this in council.
Well, one of the key issues that have been identified in the report on the Office of the Ombudsman relates to capacity in the office. As you would know, the office was at establishment phase. It's now looking at consolidation, and staffing becomes an important issue with regards to the Office of the Ombudsman and its complementarity with the Office of the Public Protector. And I think that it's an issue that requires the attention of Council, and it's one of the issues we had wanted to raise. Unfortunately, the debate wasn't concluded properly, so that we're able to enhance the work of the Office of the Ombudsman and the value that that adds to the residents of the city of Johannesburg. I think that for us, one of the key issues in establishing an office such as the Office of the Ombudsman related to, in the first instance, its ability to deal with queries that come from the public and to resolve those queries. Secondly, to identify the systemic challenges that the city confronts so that you're able to develop a more comprehensive policy solution to some of those systemic issues. And to the extent that we were able to discuss those today is inadequate, at least in my opinion, and unfortunately the matter was ruled in a manner that didn't enable the follow-up that one it wanted to make, as agreed with the Speaker and the consent of the Speaker, which unfortunately the Speaker changed his mind on the matter.
There were a number of suggestions made at Council to beef up the capacity of this office, and it was decided that it will be looked into. Another important milestone for the city achieved at this council sitting was the passing of an open tender system.
What is going to happen now, we think this will play an important role in terms of reducing corruption or perceived corruption, either way, because the final decisions will be taken in an open space, the media will be invited, the public will be invited, but also those who are tendering, they are going to be there. Although, obviously, one may be a little bit concerned about security. Security for our city manager and his colleagues will be taking decisions, whether some people may want to threaten them. But we are looking at Cape Town. They've been doing that, and so far, there have not been casualties.
On the whole, as an observer of this council sitting, I can say it was a good day in Johannesburg. And somewhere in between, there was a song and a dance. Nashina Mohammed for Joburg Today.